Well, hey, babe. It's jamithatsme here. Welcome back to my channel. Now, let's go ahead and get into put a ring on it. All right, y'all, come on in, come on in, come on in the room, come on in the room. Let's go ahead and get started with put a ring on it. So we pick up where we left off with Darion leaving us in a cliffhanger on whether or not he's going to make the decision to go on another date with Kai. Okay, he decided. It was so funny. I know some people may feel like Darion may be problematic, but he is actually hilarious at times. I don't know if he's trying to be funny, or if that's just how he is, but I be cackling with how he be acting. Okay, so Dr. Nicole is asking, what do you want to do? And he was like, I want to go on another date with Kai. Girl, I hollered because I'm like, did it have to be that much for you to just say you want to go on another date with Kai? Like, why you had to go through this? Why you had to do all of this, honey? I was over here just cackling. You hear me? But let's go ahead and move on. Alexia feels like this. If you're going to continue to make a decision to go on a date with this woman, at this point, that's a relationship. I feel like somebody else said that last year. I think it was it Shay and Mike? I think those were the two couples, okay? That was the couple, those two people. I feel like Shay said that about Mike because Mike kept going on that date with that girl from last season. What's her name? Alexis too? I can't remember. But yeah, so she feels as though it's like a relationship or whatever, and I'm like, okay. So now I feel like we're seeing the same situation a little bit with Mike and Shay, but also there's a huge difference based on the time frame of how long they've been together or whatnot. So Dr. Nicole asked her, like, can you give him the space that he needs to, carry out this process? And Miss Alexia was pissed. Okay, she was like, girl, he can have all the space that he wants. Okay. And she said, you don't mean that. She was like, no, but I'm being honest though. She was like, but see, no, you're not. Okay. You're not necessarily being honest. Okay. You're not answering that honestly. Okay. Honestly, you would say, hell to the no. Okay. Instead of just brushing it off like it ain't nothing to you, knowing that you're bothered. Okay. So let's not do that. Let's speak in honesty here. So I wasn't mad at Dr. Nicole, but when she said that, Dr. Nicole was like, ma'am. I hollered when she said that with Alexia was like, well, girl, I'm gonna give him all the space that he can have as much space as he wants. She was like, ma'am, if that ain't something that I'll do, ma'am, are you sure? I was screaming. Okay, she told her that that's a defensive reaction and that it's not a truthful reaction. So she wants her to operate in honesty and just being clear, and truthful about how you're feeling. Okay, so like I said, I agree with Dr. Nicole on that. Dr. Nicole also said, listen, if you did not care, none of y'all would be here. So obviously you cared to some capacity. You trying to be in a relationship and be married to this person, and here it is, this person's about to go out on another date. So it's only natural that you care and you feel a way about things. Okay, now Darion is the only person that says that he really wants his girl to experience going on dates with other people, because this week is the week for the ladies to go on their own dates, right, with other guys. And Darion is the only one that's like, yeah. Sean like, hell no. Eric like, no. Okay, no, it ain't happening over here. All right, so he's feeling away. All right, now Sean says that Laronda is actually too friendly. He says that he doesn't want her to go, but thinks that she can learn a lot from this date. And I'm over here like, yeah, Sean is shook because Sean knows that Laronda is definitely a catch. Okay, she's definitely a catch. That's what that is. That's why he over there shook in his boots, honey. All right, but we gonna get on you, Sean. Okay, because baby, you was over there acting like a straight capper. Straight capper. Okay, honey, I don't know what all that whining and throwing up and crying and heartache and heartbreak and ain't nobody break your heart. I don't know what you had going on, but you was straight giving me kappa activity. But we're gonna go ahead and move on. So when it gets to Jessica and Eric, so Jessica's about to go on her date. First of all, let's talk about how Eric down there in the kitchen and he looking for the cutting board. I said, baby, now you know you won't be cooking for real. Do you really? You really be up there cooking? That's why when she came downstairs, she said, you looking for what? She was looking like, you know I do be cooking around here, baby, not you. I don't know why you asked me for that with these cameras around. Okay. So she comes down looking as good as she want to look in this little yellow dress. I was like, okay. I guess and Eric is pressed. He's mad about it. All right. He gives her some advice because she's like, "You got any advice for me?" He was like, "Yeah." The answer is no. She was like, "No." He was like, "Yeah, no to everything." He's trying to touch you. The answer is no. He want to give you something to drink. The answer is no. All of that. The answer is no. So Eric is really feeling pressed in this moment, but for some reason, it honestly made me think, does Eric really care? I felt like Eric didn't wholeheartedly really care. I think he made it seem like he cared because, you know, it was cute, it was entertaining. She kind of gave him a hard time when he was about to go on a date, so he kind of gave her the same hard time back. But deep down inside, I feel like Eric does not care because Eric thinks that Jessica won't ever leave him. That's the energy that I was getting from Eric. Like, yeah. So maybe he started feeling away once old boy left the house. But that's when she got real, when the boy actually came to the house. So when he came to the house and rang the doorbell, first of all, he kept asking the boy what his name was. Then it sounded like he kept messing the boy name up. Now when he go to the door, he's like, "Who you here for?" And the boy was like, "I'm here for Jessica." He slammed the door in his face, said, "Baby, you got the wrong house, okay?" So he goes back to let him in, but he was so rude, okay? That was hilarious. So he gets inside, you know, they all greet each other and all that other good stuff. It really seems like Eric wanted to let Jessica talk, but Jessica was really excited to get out of the house because to her, she's never seen any of this behavior that Eric is displaying towards her. So it kind of, you know, it flattered her a bit. But she goes on this date with this guy. Okay, and when she goes on the date with the guy, she tells the guy, because he asked like, "How long you been in this relationship?" She said, "Oh, well, we've been in this relationship for like 4 years, but he would say 3. And I'm like, exactly, because that's the face that he was giving her when they were sitting down with Dr. Nicole, and he kind of looked over when she was talking about infidelity in their relationship or something like that. He was kind of looking like, "Girl, you weren't even my girlfriend at the time." So to him, that first year, he was just, no, they was just talking. He was just getting to know people and stuff. It wasn't official. But to her, she already locked in and zoned in on who it is that she wanted. And so I guess to her, they was in a relationship that first year. So she says 4 and he says 3. Okay. Now, Jessica says that she can't really trust him, but she says that she trusts him, but sometimes in the back of her head, she finds herself wondering about different things he say, places he may go, and stuff like that. So when she thinks of that, it makes her believe, like, you know what, maybe I don't trust him as much as I really think that I do. Okay, she's not 100% trusting him. So Randon, I think that's his name. Randon, instead of Brandon with the B, it's Randon. So we learned that Randon is 32 years old. He doesn't have any kids. He says that he has never had a girlfriend. I was like, Jessica, go and get up, baby. Go ahead and get up from that table. Why is you sitting down talking to this man? Okay, talking about something, he ain't never have a girlfriend, and then says that he wasn't ready to give his all. If he wasn't ready to give his all in the relationship, why would he go have a girlfriend? Although that does make sense, right? You know, but I still, at some point in your life, would have expected you to have dated somebody, even if it was a few years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been single for the past 5 years, you know, and the reason I haven't been in a relationship is because I've been trying to assess things for myself. I haven't really been ready to get in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? But to say that you've never had one, get up off the table, girl, and go ahead and go about your business. All right. He talking about how he tired of his player ways. That's what he say. I'm tired of my player ways. And I'm like, again, the lies. You ain't tired of no player ways, baby. Okay. But I feel like Jessica is a little player too. All right. Now, when he was talking about when she talked about what she wants in the next 5 years, I kind of hate that question. You know what I'm saying? Because where a person is today isn't probably where they thought they would be 5 years ago. So why are we asking this? I know things that I would like to see happen and come into fruition for my life over the next few years. Okay. But as far as where do I see myself in 5 years? Like, I don't know. I don't really like that question. Okay. But all right. But when she was asking that, you know, she wants to have marriage and all that other stuff, he was like, automatically, I'm all in. All he saw was a cute face, a slim waist, and a big booty. And he was just like, listen, I'm here for her. Yes. And she giving me that exotic type. I'm here for her. And all the whole time I'm looking like, girl, he is corny. Get off the table. Get off the table. Get off that table, ma'am. Okay, so he talking about how he all in, but I feel like Jessica was a player because she holding her hand. I want him to touch her hand. Talking about, that's what I need. I need you to be all in. And I'm like, girl, you over here playing with this man. Let's move on. Okay, let's go ahead and get to Alexia and Darion. They at the house, okay? She says that she hope her date is not fanning out over him, and that he really don't know him. That's what she was really hoping for, because she ain't got time for nobody coming in asking for autographs and all that stuff from her man. Okay, so the date arrives. Who opens the door? Of course, Darion opens the door, lets the guy in or whatever. He was kind of nice for the most part until you find out he was a trainer. So he slick tried to throw shade when, you know, it was asked what he do for a living. He said he a trainer. Darion was like, "Oh, honey, that he a trainer. Oh, he get a whole lot of time with your girl, don't he?" And the guy had to say, "Listen, that's a part of my reputation. You know, that's the good part about it, that I don't mess around with my clients." Okay. He checked him real quickly. Okay. They decided to go out to like baseball. No, the question before they went out, she asked him, "Do you know him? Are you familiar with him?" He said, "I never seen this man a day in my life." Hollering, she laughed out loud, and so did I. I ain't never seen this man a day in my life. She's like, "Good, you ready to go?" So they go out, they do the batting cages and stuff, and they have a sit down, and he wants to know more about her. And she talked about herself, and then she goes into her relationship and how she's been with him pretty much 14 years and stuff. And it seems like when she was sitting down, I think the guy's name was Chris, when she was sitting down with him, it seems like she kept bringing up, this is what it looks like to me. It seemed like she kept bringing up her man, and you know how he ties into her relationship, instead of just speaking on herself and what it is that she likes to do, what it is that she wants and stuff, instead of always having to have him be a part of that conversation. And I think that's why the dude leaned back and looked into the sky like, "I only want to know about you, not him." And that's when she said that she likes to go to the club and stuff, but she said she doesn't do that because that's what he likes to do. You know, she doesn't do all things that he likes to do, is because, you know, that's how she is, and that's the stuff that she likes or whatever. So that's what that was. And I kind of understand why she spoke in the sense in which she spoke, because she has been with him for 14 years. He has been a large part of her, you know, been a part of her life for a large period of time. But at the same time, she could have really primarily spoke about herself as if Darion wasn't there. Like, "These are the things that I like to do, blah, 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 blah," you know. But I mean, I still kind of understand where she was coming from with having to mention him so much, because I mean, she do everything with him. That's her best friend. But y'all let me know if y'all got like a different viewpoint from that as you were watching the show. So what else happened? She asked him why he was single, and he says that he doesn't pick a woman just because, you know, when he's talking to a woman, he likes to get to know her. He wants to make sure that they are aligned, and that that's what he vibes off of before he makes the decision. So I kind of feel like, I don't know when his last relationship was, but you ain't found a woman that you're aligned to yet with all this conversation and talking that you're doing. It was a nice way of saying, "I don't want no goddamn girlfriend." That's what I feel. I feel like it was a nice way of him saying, "I don't want no woman. I don't want no girl right now. I need somebody that I can be aligned with." And he still hasn't found anyone yet. Again, I don't know how long he's been single, but if he hasn't found anyone yet, it also makes me wonder, could he potentially be a person that is either like very nitpicky or always having to find something that he feels like doesn't align with him? What is that about? But when I was sitting here watching him, I didn't even think she was gonna choose him to go on another date anyway. The chemistry just was not there 100% for me. So it is what it is. Let's go ahead and move on. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to Laronda. So Dr. Nicole comes over to have a sit down with them. You know, she likes to do this check-in with the different couples and stuff. So she sits down with them. She wants to uncover some of the issues and things that may be going on within their relationship. And Rhonda says that they have spoken on their finances and stuff in the past and how they spend money. Okay, so they take care of their finances separately. So if he got bills and stuff, or his cell phone, like, "That's you do this over here and I'm gonna do this over here." You know, they handle everything completely separate down the line. He says that when they talk about finances and budgeting, he said it makes him uncomfortable. And it makes him uncomfortable because his income every month is not consistent. It's different things every month. So it makes him uncomfortable, and it puts pressure on him because he feels as though he's not providing how he should provide, and based on the standards that was set by, I'm sure, society, which was then set by his household. So that's something that he has to deal with. He says that he feels like a bum because his money is so inconsistent, and that is directly, according to him, related to how it was in his household. As he grew up, he said that he feels as though his worth was tied to the amount of money that he has. And I was like, he said that, so I'm saying this. So basically, he's struggling to, want to live his dreams, and then wanting to also be able to get money and stuff. But when you're trying to be in entertainment in any facet, I don't care what nobody says, starting off, you ain't gonna make it like that. It's gonna be a minute before you really get to like Kevin Hart money, okay? Martin Lawrence money. Like, it's just going to be a minute. So if you got a mate that's willing to stick through and be like, F what other people talking about, I want you to be a man that's gonna be able to go out there and live your dreams, because there's so many people out here having these jobs, working these corporate jobs, working whatever kind of job they can get, but not out here living their dreams, and they still out here suffering. Like, I want you to at least be able to go out and live your dreams, and do your thing. So if you got somebody like that, I think that's great. He got that support. He definitely has that support in his girlfriend. She feels like, listen, I don't give how much money you make. You know what I'm saying? Like, that has nothing to do with me, but it's definitely the effort and stuff. I also see why she really likes him. What Nicki Minaj be saying, I could tell he in touch with his feminine side. He is in touch with his emotions, and he's a man that does not mind crying and getting it out there instead of sheltering it in like a lot of men do, who feel as though they can't cry. Nobody should see me cry. And that's one thing I always tell my son. I don't give about all that. You feel in a way, express your emotions through tears if you need to. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather you do that and get it out than to hold it in and continue to damage yourself. So I'm really glad to see that he is getting the therapy that he needs from Dr. Nicole, if he's not getting it and hasn't been getting it prior to this. Because that little bit of therapy she's going to be giving him over these next few weeks, I think it's going to be very helpful for him as he moves forward, in his journey. Okay. He speaks on his dad and how his dad really wasn't available to them. He says his dad would drop off money and then he'll go. That was it. So I guess he really didn't have the relationship with his father that he would want. And then it was times where I'm believing his dad wasn't able to even help his mom sometimes. So then you have to deal with that and what comes along with that if you ain't got no money, okay? So that was that. And Dr. Nicole tells him that he has to write his own narrative. And I agree with her. I feel like you're not your dad, you're your own person, okay? You get to define what life is going to look like you moving forward. Rhonda says that she feels as though he sees their relationship how he sees his parents, but she doesn't want him to pretty much pigeonhole the relationship, and that's going to be something that's going to prevent them from moving forward. I'm with Rhonda, I'm with Dr. Nicole. You're already light years, in my opinion, ahead of your dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, just off of how you treat your counterpart, treat Rhonda, and then just how Rhonda is accepting of your lifestyle and wanting you to thrive in the industry that you're in. So it's like you ain't even got the same type of wife or soon to be wife or whatever. Like, you don't even have the same type of girl, how your mama and your daddy them operated, like life is just so different. So I want him to be able to get to a place where he can get that up off his back, because your issues and your daddy issues is what I really mean. Your father's issues, your parents' issues, they do not have to be your issues. Unfortunately, those type of things definitely get passed down to us, and we have to figure out ways to deal with it. So I'm so glad that he's able to have this conversation with Dr. Nicole so that he can work through these issues and start to see himself in a different light. Okay. But that was good. So let's go ahead and move on to this date, honey, because the dude walked up to the door. As soon as he got out the car, I said, "Oh, baby, no." I said, "He ain't got nothing on Sean. Girl, send this man back to the car." I said, "Send him back to the car." Okay, he ain't have nothing on Sean, but that is just me. Okay, the date came into the house. Actually, he just Sean left him in the house, and baby boys just start roaming. I said, "No, he not." So Sean said, "Hold up there, player. I'm gonna guide you, okay? Because you just walking like you live here. Okay, you would have thought he had been there before, honey, the way he was walking up in that house." So Sean introduced him to Rhonda or whatever. And the whole time Sean was really cringing on the inside. He tried to play like he was cool, but he wasn't. Okay, he wasn't, and we ended up seeing that as the episode continued to play out. Okay. When he knocked on the door, though, I did write this down because I thought it was so funny, because Sean said, "Oh, that knock is corny." And then I don't know what he said when he came in the door, like blessings and salutations or something like that. And Ronald was like, blessings and okay, ooh, hilarious. I was over here tickled because I was like, yeah, when he said that knock is corny, I was like, he's corny. Okay, that's just to me, but it don't matter because Rhonda obviously had a wonderful time while she was with this man. Okay. Now, John, which is the guy's name, felt the need to sit down because obviously Sean offered him a seat. Okay, John, Sean, and Ron, which is Rhonda. Okay, look at this throuple, honey. So he allows him to sit down, and he wants to know, like, what he's looking for or whatever. And the dude talks about how he's looking. He talks about how he's searching for a connection. And I'm over here like, well, basically what he's telling you, Sean, is he finna take your girl. Y'all out here looking for something. Y'all looking to see where y'all finna go in this relationship. And I'm also out here looking for a connection. Okay. So basically what I heard is I'm finna try and take your girl. That's all I heard from him. So they go to the Bailey wine cellar, honey. Come on, Cynthia Bailey, for the Bailey wine cellar. Yeah. So they go there. They got their cheese and their grapes and their wine and everything. And John wanted to play a game. He talked about, I have this vision. I have this vision that I'm throwing grapes into your mouth, but I don't really know if you want to do that. And she was like, I mean, it's whatever, baby. I'm always down for a challenge. And I said, girl, you don't know where this man's hands been. And you about to put this grape in your mouth? I mean, okay, Rhonda. So she threw the grape. He missed it. She caught it like a pro. I was like, okay, we see what that mouth do, girl. Okay, we see why Sean keeping you around, honey. Okay. So while they're on the date, having a great time, Sean at the house acting like a capper. He didn't know what to do with himself. He went over here and started doing push-ups, honey. He done went over there lifting on the bars. I said, baby, how many workouts have you done? Okay, because you are pressed and stressed. I didn't know it was going to get as far as it was about to go, but it did. I'm saying this baby, he couldn't even eat his peanut butter and jelly sandwich all the way, girl. He was over there lounging all on the couch, falling, didn't know what he was doing. He had to FaceTime his homeboy. His homeboy was like, listen, I told you that jealousy, you know what I'm saying? It'll eat you up, honey. But listen, I don't think Rhonda is a woman that will go out there and intentionally do something to hurt you. And he was like, I know, but I'm just saying it's the what if. It's the fact that, she going out here on a date. It's the what if that's really hurting my feelings and it's killing me. Okay? So he's really going through it. So much so when he got off the phone, he went to the bathroom, threw up and everything. I said, baby, this man is it's giving me Kappa activity. No, sir. All that crying all over the place. We need you to toughen up a little bit. But all in all, I appreciate him being open with his emotions when he was with the ladies. But I did not like seeing him in the state that he was in when she just went on a date. I was like, she just went on a date. You do know all her furniture and everything and stuff still at the house, right? You do know she got to come back. You know she probably gonna be gone for about maybe 8 hours, if that, for filming purposes, right? What is wrong with you, sir? Get it together. Get it together. He know why. I hope his homeboys is clowning him just a little bit about that, okay? He was sick to his stomach. And honestly, y'all, it was in that moment that I know for a fact that man gonna put that ring on that girl's finger. Okay, now, it may be a temporary ring for the moment, but meaning, it may not be a real ring for the moments, it may, but he gonna get to the real one, but he gonna put a ring on her finger, okay, because he ain't gonna want to lose her. So let's go ahead and move on to Alexia. So we all get back with Dr. Nicole. Everybody's in the room. She speaks on her date, how attractive he was. Darion hating, talking about how he looked and stuff. So he's up there being a hater. Alexia loves that her date listened to her. That's one thing that he did. And Dr. Nicole was like, okay, so is that something that you guys do? Do you guys talk to be seen, or do you talk to understand each other? And she was like, well, I feel like I talk to understand him. Like, that's what I try to do. I don't know what he be over there doing, but I will say that we spent a lot of time talking, and they stayed up till like 7 a.m. one morning, really hashing out things and having a conversation about their relationship and stuff. So they obviously operated from a different space. So that's good to hear. Okay. I feel like once I heard that they actually were able to have a conversation for hours. If you're doing that, that means that y'all are both sitting down, allowing the other person to talk and fully get out their thoughts before, interrupting or anything. So I was like, damn, I was like, okay, I feel like this process is already starting to work. However, I feel like Kai is gonna come back and disrupt some things. I feel like some activity and stuff is gonna be disrupted. So yeah, and I also think that even though Darion act like he's unfazed, I think he's also afraid of losing Alexia as well. But I'm wondering if it's genuinely he's afraid of losing his girl, or is it just the history because they've been together for 4 years and he's comfortable with her and that's all that he knows. And it could be vice versa. So that's that on that. Let's go ahead and move on to Jessica. Jessica speaks on her date and how he was attractive as well. She opens up about how she and her man don't trust each other. That's another issue that they got to work out. And I love how Dr. Nicole said, y'all don't trust each other, and that's the foundation that you're trying to build on. I was like, okay. Jessica was like, I mean, girl, we got to start somewhere, honey. I mean, this is where we at. You don't think we could grow through it? Okay. But even Eric agreed with Dr. Nicole. He was like, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's sustainable. So yeah, these are some things that we got to continue to work out. All right. So good luck. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Laronda and Sean. Let's talk about them. Okay, so she speaks on her date and how great she had a wonderful time when she was with him. She even talked about the song that he sung to her. I was like, okay, when I heard the song, I was like, John can sing. John can sing. Okay, now I was a little shocked that he brought all of that to the table on the first date, but I mean, hey, I mean, you know, I thought he did a good job. He said he's a singer-songwriter or something like that, so he proved his point on that one. She says that when she left to go on this date, her man got sick. I say he damn sure got seasick for sure. Up there crying all over the place, doing workouts all over the damn place, and in the bathroom throwing up like he done lost her for life. I was like, what kind of is this? Get it together. All right. And then he talked about how he was really sick because he couldn't imagine the thought of living his life without her. And I said, well, then go get the ring. Walk up out of there right now and go get that ring. Okay? If you can't imagine living your life without her, go get it. Go pick it up. All right. Now, Sean speaks on growing up. Basically, the reason he responded and reacted the way that he did was based on the trauma from his childhood. But I want to know more about that trauma. Maybe he doesn't want to mention it. Maybe he doesn't want his family to see it and see him, you know, see themselves in a bad light or something. But he's speaking on trauma, and I want to know more about that because one of the things we did here was how his dad wasn't readily available. Okay, he wasn't always present. I think his dad was there but wasn't always present because he was always working and stuff, and not sure of how the dynamics was with his mom. So I want to know more about that situation because he definitely puts a lot of pressure on himself and the situation. I feel like he always second guesses himself too. He didn't say that, but I feel like he does that. I think he definitely second guessed himself and puts a lot of pressure on himself, and not just his situation with his girl, but I feel like a lot of different areas of his life. I think he does that. He says ultimately that he doesn't want to turn into his dad, and I just think Sean needs to be reminded that he's not his father. You're not at all. You know, I think he's also probably afraid of failure, you know, but you sometimes in life, you don't, I mean, failures, they happen. Sometimes it's not at your own fault. It's just what it is. Okay. So I'm glad he's just continuing to get the therapy, and I'm glad that he's sitting up there and he's being honest about where he's coming from and what he's feeling and what he's experiencing. Okay. And you could tell it was so real because even Alexia was up there tearing up. Even she was up there like, damn. You know, so I appreciate him being vulnerable in that moment because not a lot of guys can do that. Dr. Nicole asked if he treats his current girl Rhonda the same way that he treats that his dad treated his mom, and he was like, absolutely not. And she was like, see, and I was like, I'm so glad she asked that because we can look and tell that that's not the type of energy that they bring to each other. So I was glad that she was able to tell him that to his face, like, you already ahead of the game, you already different, you already making different decisions than your dad right there. So y'all are two different people. How he handled his situation is on him. How you're going to handle yours moving forward, this is on you. So I really appreciated that. The decision time comes. What's going on? Well, Alexia decides she's going to pass. I said, good. I think you should pass, girl. There was no chemistry there. Y'all was not seeing each other. It just was not it for me. I didn't see it, okay? So I'm glad she passed. When it came down to Jessica, Jessica also said she's going to pass. I said, great, great. Jessica said that the issue for her was the fact that oh boy, ain't had no girlfriends before. And I'm like, it's more than that. It's not just he ain't had no girlfriends. You was able to see the bullshit for what it was, because I know I saw it. I'm just like, girl, So Eric is completely happy about that. I'm glad she decided to go past and just be like, baby, bye. Rhonda says that she's gonna go past oh boy John, but the reason she's deciding to do this is truthfully because she wants to consider her man's feelings, and she doesn't want him to get sick. And I kind of feel like that's unfair to herself, because you just said, Rhonda, on last week's episode, when he decided to not go out with the girl because of you, okay, he didn't want to damage the relationship he got with you. You said if you feel as though she's perfect or she's this and that, then one would take on the opportunity. So now here you are, and you're not considering yourself in this process. You're considering him. So now it makes me wonder, do you do that with other things, girl? Do you do that with other things? Like, let's talk about finances. Like, let's say if you want to go on a trip and you want to do certain things, do you withhold yourself from doing that because he don't got the money to meet you there? Like, that may not be it, but it may be other areas in a relationship where you may just be like, no, I'm not gonna do this because and really there's nothing wrong with that, but then it doesn't mean that it doesn't bother you at times, So I just want to know more about that, and why she chose to put him first. Was just last week she would say that experience the process, because she would do the same thing, and here it is, she's not. But I say what I said. So Dr. Nicole tells them to start making decisions, or at least stop making the decisions that are not honest. After hearing what Miss Thang said, her honest decision probably would have been to go out on a date with him, because she had a great time. She would have did it again. She had fun. But because of her man, Rhonda, she decided to not do it. So that's just that on that, honey. All right. Now, next week, what's going to be happening? They're going to be going on dates at the same time with different people, whoever their dates are, and they're going to be in the same location. So, that's going to be a whole fool and a whole mess. I'm going to be a whole tuned in. Okay. But that right there is just really all that I have. Okay. From a put a ring on it. I thank you guys so much for tuning in and joining me. All right. I'm going to go ahead and end this live because I have to record Love After Lockup. Yeah, so I have to get into that, but I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.